got to stop you. The circuit court has nothing to do with the convening of Democrats to file false papers. Did the Democrats convene without a court order and sign documents that were not real?
Was the president trying to get the ones that didn't?
Let's answer the question.
This is the question. Because we're talking about Donald Trump's actions.
Right, so we're starting with precedent.
We're talking about Donald Trump's actions.
I asked you a question, and you changed the subject.
Did the sitting president at the time try to get, after the court cases had been resolved, try to get the Democratic
we have to start from the
electors counted? They didn't.
Let's start here. Did the Democrats...
None of y'all are even engaging with that fact.
Are you going to answer the question?
You're going to go and spin and spin and spin.
You probably saw Tim Pool versus Luke Beasley round 1, where in my opinion, Tim Pool absolutely walked all over Luke Beasley. But of course, the left is out there, Destiny, David Pakman. They try to make it seem like Luke Beasley won the exchange on Timcast IRL. This time, we're doing another debate between Tim Pool and Luke Beasley, and also a couple other people are here as well. Andrew Wilson, Myron Gaines. A few people are having a debate here, but this exchange that I'm going to show you right here is between Tim Pool and Luke Beasley again, where once again, Tim Pool absolutely wipes the floor with Luke Beasley. Let's get into this clip here where Tim Pool destroys this woke soy boy once again.
For a reason. It's so that we have clarity in what we're actually talking about. So when you go, Trump's a fascist, yeah, it's very important that you clarify exactly what that means, why it means that, what the historic standard is that you're providing against
I'm saying that debate is an interesting one. I've had it a bunch of times, less relevant than whether or not you can defend the things he did factually, not the labels, the facts of what he did.
Why are you calling him a fascist then, Luke? If you're not prepared to defend it.
Tim brought that up. I'm interested in...
Well, so
you call him that, Luke. Why do you call him that unless you can defend it?
He is called in the media a fascist over and over and over again for 10 years.
And
he calls him that.
My question is, most importantly, then we can get to that. Can you defend the things that we point to as a threat to democracy, as anti-democratic, whatever label you use? I just don't care about getting that.
Can you defend that he's a fascist or not, Luke?
I absolutely have had that discussion a bunch of times.
That's not what I asked you. Can you repeat my question? I asked you, can you defend that he's a fascist?
We would point out things that we might describe as authoritarian or fascistic, even if you don't agree with a particular label. And that's what he's saying we want to talk about. So, for example, did he plot to overturn the 2020 election? Did he resist the peaceful transfer of power? Does he command a cult of personality? These are factual questions.
Does he threaten the media? This is not, I'm not going to make a whataboutism. I'm going to say, okay, let's start from that presumption that would make Trump a fascist. That would also make Obama or Biden or Kamala much the same.
Which we can discuss, which is false.
What you just described as Donald Trump would apply to them in what same way?
Fraudulent states of elections.
When have they ever resisted the peaceful transfer of power or plotted to overturn an election?
I believe this was the first election in 52 years. The Democratic Party has not challenged the election.
No, you're talking about the thing that is within congressional rules, which is you can object to the account. That's different than assembling from different states people who aren't the lawful electors and then trying to get them counted by your vice president as the real one.
Right.
That's completely different.
But that is also a procedure.
No, one is you can't just get random people to sign fake forms saying they're the real electors.
They're not fake forms.
They were.
They're not fake forms.
You know why the people were prosecuted?
What do you think we mean by fake forms?
States?
We obviously it's not invisible.
You need to define what a fake form is.
We don't mean by an invisible piece of paper. It was a fraudulent document.
Wait, that's semantics, Tim.
Yeah.
Like I said, very important to debates.
Because you can't
we don't want to spend 45 minutes on what's a fake form.
Right, the issue here is we're talking about a play upon precedent with what Donald Trump did, and the basis for what Donald Trump did and his lawyers in 2021 was built upon what happened in the election between Nixon and Kennedy, when Hawaii sent a non-certified slate. Would you call that fake as well?
No, in that case, this was before the certification had happened. The state sent 2 slates.
Incorrect.
In these cases, there were certifications by each state and then verified by the governor, then sent to to Washington, and those were the ones Trump wanted to get counted.
Will it come up on this?
It says Tim Pool is completely in the right here because this is one of the first elections. I mean, I'm 26. I can't remember any other election, and I can't remember too many of them, to be fair, but I can't remember any other election in recent history that the Democrats didn't challenge the result. If you just think of the Donald Trump elections, the whole Russia collusion stuff that was literally manufactured, not even just by Democrat politicians, but also by, lawmakers and law enforcers too. And, they trumped up all this different, they're trying to go after him, put him in jail. They're trying to, bring up all these charges. They're doing everything that they possibly can to not have Donald Trump actually win the election. And when he did win the election back in 2016, they said it was due to Russia collusion, that it was unfair, unjust, all of that stuff. They did all of that. And like Tim Pool said, this is one of the first elections ever that Democrats didn't challenge the result. And it's only because they want to be able to say they didn't challenge the result like Donald Trump did. They want to be able to act as if they're above that. Because they don't want to have election reform, because they don't want to push for election reform. All these people, Luke Beasley, David Pakman, Destiny, these sorts of people, whenever you say, hey, I'm all for election reform and election integrity, let's just shore up the elections. They're like, oh, you crazy conspiracy theorist. This guy thinks that there's nefarious stuff happening. It's like, are you saying that you don't want election reform? Are you saying that you like the fact that Arizona and California and a lot of West Coast states and a lot of Northeastern states, they took 2 weeks to get the votes in to see who won their states for the presidential election? And then an extra 2 weeks after that to see who won the down ballot races. You think that's normal in 2024? Now 2025? That's not normal. There's other countries out there with a much lower GDP than the United States that get their results instantly. Why is the United States so far behind, and why are we able to recognize they're far behind, and you're still defending the fact that they should stay further behind? That's the people who you should look out for. And as a result, these people have no moral ground to stand on. They have nowhere to stand because they're defending they're going against, they're opposing having actual integrity inside of their own country's elections. What are we doing? That's how you know this is all tribal. This has nothing to do with principles or morals or anything like that. It's all just tribal. My side against yours. Because Tim Pool is saying something, I, Luke Beasley, have to say the opposite. That's all this is.
Represent the lawful outcome of the elections in those states. Y'all agree with that?
Agree with you about what?
That's what Trump was trying to do, getting electors that weren't the ones lawfully certified by the states to get counted?
No.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Cool. Then.
Wait, what was he doing?
So we'll pull this up. Hang on.
Okay.
One step at a time.
So in Hawaii, and it just disappeared on me. Why does it do that? And I'm using Wikipedia, which I'm not a big fan of because it is oversimplified and often wrong. But it says that Hawaii official results showed Nixon winning by a small margin. Hawaii's 3 electoral votes were cast for Nixon. Acting Governor James Keelio has certified the Republican electors, and they cast Hawaii's 3 electors for Nixon. However, clear discrepancies existed, blah, blah, blah. The court challenge was still ongoing at the time of the electoral count's safe harbor deadline, but Democratic electors still convened on the constitutionally mandated date of December 19th and cast their votes for Kennedy. Would you consider those to be illegitimate votes because it had already been certified for the Republican?
And then
Can we keep reading?
Continue.
The recount completed before Christmas resulted in Kennedy being declared the winner by 115 votes. On December 30th, the circuit court ruled that Hawaii's 3 electoral votes should go to Kennedy. It was decided that a new certificate was necessary with only 2 days remaining before Congress convened to count and certify the Electoral College votes. A letter to Congress saying a certificate was on the way was rushed out by registered airmail. Both Democratic and Republican electoral votes from Hawaii were presented for counting on January 6th, and Vice President Nixon, who presided over the certification, graciously said, without the intent of establishing a precedent, and requested unanimous consent that Democratic votes for Kennedy be counted.
Right.
So the clarification here, let's make sure it's very clear.
Sure.
The Democratic votes were never certified. They were intending to certify, but because the deadline was approaching, they submitted false documents, as you described it, before certification was done.
No, because the circuit court ruled that the electoral vote should go to Kennedy.
Hold on.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
I got to stop you. The circuit court has nothing to do with the convening of Democrats to file false papers. Did the Democrats convene without a court order and sign documents that were not real?
Was the president trying to get the ones that didn't?
Let's answer the question.
This is the question. Because we're talking about Donald Trump's actions.
Right, so we're starting with precedent.
We're talking about Donald Trump's actions.
I asked you a question and you changed the subject.
Did the sitting president at the time try to get, after the court cases had been resolved, try to get the Democratic
we have to start from the
electors counted? They didn't.
Let's start here. Did the Democrats...
None of y'all are even engaging with that fact.
Are you going to answer the question or
You're going to go and spin and spin and spin because you can't engage with the fact that you do.
You're pattering.
You know.
You're pattering.
That Trump was trying to get Pence. What was Trump trying to get Pence to do?
You are pattering.
What was Trump trying to get Pence to do?
You are pattering. Can we stop and go back to the debate?
Keep repeating that.
Sure.
This is the debate.
So
what did the president of the United States do at the time?
You're just pattering. All right, I'm going to say it again. We are reading...
And the reason why he's doing that, by the way, is because he was very, I wouldn't say calm, but he was not combative on the last time, and Tim Pool was combative because he was, Luke Beasley was being very smug and everything like that, but he did let Tim Pool walk all over him. There's no doubt about it. Tim Pool absolutely demolished the guy. I mean, he was in the wrong. Luke Beasley was. So after that, all these people, David Pakman, Destiny, Sam Cedar, all these people are saying, wow, Luke Beasley did such a great job. And I guarantee you 100% they reached out to him and they tried to give him some coaching. Hey, man, next time you got to really give it to this guy. Like, you got to make sure that you're interrupting him a ton, be really obnoxious. Don't be like your normal, calm demeanor, smug self where you're just squinting and you're acting really confused at everything that Tim Pool said. Just be super combative and obnoxious. Like, you got to be more combative with it. And I guarantee you they coached him to do this. And this is why he's doing that. That's why he's being like that. It's like, it's such bad, I don't know, it's not radio, but it's such bad content to listen to, you know, like to have Luke Beasley just saying nonsense over Tim Pool. He's only doing that because he was told to do that by other people. I would put money on it.
A specific passage on what Hawaii did. And we are at a specific point in the logical question. Hawaii Democrats were not certified. They filled out paperwork. Pause. The courts had not approved anything.
At that
were
point,
those documents, yes or no, real or fake?
At that point in time, the recount hadn't even concluded.
Yes or no, were the documents real or fake?
When the Trump electors met, Georgia had already counted its ballots. I'm explaining to you the
I am not asking you about Trump.
Correct. If those forms had then been asserted as the lawful ones during the counting process, that would be fraudulent. Yes, but they weren't.
So they submitted documents that were unapproved, not certified to the federal government.
Which ones ended up being the ones that the federal government was going to certify?
Why is this so hard?
Oh my gosh!
Why is the reason that it seems to be
I'll lay it out logically simply.
You're doing it now with y'all.
You see, this is the thing. You guys are trying to present some sophistry as to your argument.
No, you can't engage with what Trump did. That's exactly what you're doing.
I'm going to make my point.
You can't engage with what Trump did.
I'll make my point. Stop pattering.
And then will you let us make our points?
So absolutely. Though the problem is I'm asking about Hawaii and you keep changing the subject to Trump. So let's go through Hawaii. The Democrats had no right, by your logic, to fill out this paperwork and submit it to the federal government as the certified slate of electors. Only after the fact did the court make a decision. Now let's go to 2020. If there is pending court decisions, and there were, Republicans doing the same thing Democrats did.
No, you're wrong. The circuit court decided that a new certificate was necessary.
After the fact.
Before Congress convened.
Yes, but after it already submitted the documents. This is why I'm asking you, when you said they were false documents, I didn't say anything else. What makes them false? It's the same as Hawaii. If you want to make the argument that Democrats did the same thing in 1960, I will agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's so funny how Luke Beasley's entire demeanor has changed from the first time he went on Timcast to this time around. And let me know in the comments. You guys know I covered it on this channel. So many other people talked about that clip too. It went viral. You guys know what Luke Beasley at Tim Pool, the first round was like. It wasn't like this at all. You know, I don't know. You know, I do know why. It's because Luke Beasley, like I said, got coaching from David Pakman and these sorts of people to be more combative. And now he's kind of overcompensating for the fact that he got walked all over last time. It's actually kind of funny to watch. But at the same time, it's like very obnoxious and horrible YouTube etiquette. Like, it's just bad podcast etiquette. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about round 2 between Tim Pool and Luke Beasley. Now, there's other debates within this debate here that I might cover later on, depending on how you guys react to this one. There's, you know, Andrew Wilson going after Luke Beasley and many other debates within this debate. So let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see me break those down as well. But I'm more curious to see how you guys feel about this Tim Pool versus Luke Beasley round 2. Who do you think came out on top? Do you think it was Tim or do you think it was Luke Beasley? Let me know in the comments. You guys think about this whole Timcast debate.